Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I got something pretty cool to look at today. This is a little bitty mini drone from Snaptain. It's called the A10. And as you guys can see, this looks an awful lot like a Mavic Mini. I guess I would call this a mini Mavic Mini toy clone. Now, I will just show you the box very briefly here. There is, of course, the A10 name, 4-axis mini foldable drone. Its features and specs, pretty much everything you see, so it's enough of that. So back to the drone itself. Now, it does have a little fixed 720p Wi-Fi camera here in the front. It doesn't have any SD cards, so it does have to record directly to the app, though it does pretty decent. There's, of course, your typical amount of Wi-Fi lag, but the recorded video that I saw in 720p on my phone looked pretty decent, and it wasn't any bunch of jello or anything like that. So I was pretty happy with that. Now, it has some pretty cool lights on this. I'll show you. The power button here is on top. Now, this battery I've already flown, so let's take a look here and see if it still comes on. And of course, it won't flash when you're bound, but you got white front LEDs. You have these blue ones on the side and then a green in the rear. So I actually love these LEDs. You can turn them off the controller, but I wouldn't do that. It's not gonna make a big difference in the flight time, and it looks really, really cool. Now, they do give you 2 of these batteries. The battery slides here in the back. Rather than messing with that, I'll just show you the extra one. This battery is a 1S LiPo. It's, of course, 3.7 volt. 380 milliamp hour. Got a flight time of about 8 minutes, which is totally acceptable for a little drone like this. And here is your charger. Now, this uses a little barrel pin type charger here. Plugs in there, and then you get your charge light that goes off and on when it's done. And of course, this is going to take, you know, probably 45 minutes or so, half an hour to 45 minutes to charge it up using this. Now, you only have one charger, so you have to charge them one at a time. Sometimes Snaptain won't put 2 chargers in it. Would have been kind of nice had they done that. And then you get an accessory bag here with prop guards. If you put those on, you're going to shorten your flight time probably down into the 7-minute range. And then your Phillips screwdriver, some screws for attaching those, and the propellers here to attach those. There's some spare propellers here if you would actually break a propeller, which you could if you don't fly with the prop guards, though I don't like to, because of course they make great tree hangers. But if you're a beginner, you might want to use those, especially indoors if you are going to bang into the walls quite a bit. Though I did crash it a decent amount of time because I was being rather aggressive, and props are fine. Now, there's 3 rates with this drone. Indoors, probably the middle or intermediate rate might be the best, because, you know, it can get rather sporty. The yaw does increase proportionally with those rates. But, you know, it's a really fun little flyer. It flies really, really well. Now, when you do the gyro calibration with this, make sure on a level surface, because if it's a little off, the drone tends to fly forward a little bit on you. So if you're totally level like this surface here, you're totally fine to do that gyro calibration, which I didn't do it when I first took off, and it was fine. I did it to test it and see if it worked, and then did want to fly forward a little bit on me, which I think Brian over True Drone Reviews had some issues with that as well. But, you know, I calibrated on this bed. When I landed on the floor and did it, then there was no problem whatsoever. So don't mess with calibrating the gyro unless you crash it really bad. And let's go ahead and let's go over the controller. Pretty nice controller. It has a nice feel to it. You know, it doesn't feel like a totally cheap toy grade, though it is rather lightweight. This is your phone clip holder here. So you put your phone in here for the Wi-Fi FPV to the app, which we'll go over in just a minute. It is altitude hold, which, you know, isn't the greatest for learning, but for something like this, it'll be easier to fly for someone who's a beginner. And then you've got all your buttons. Here's your power. This is to turn your LEDs on and off, which, again, I'd recommend leaving them on because they look really cool, especially flying indoors or outside whenever the weather, whenever it's nighttime. You know, you can see it really well. Here's your auto takeoff and your auto landing, which it will take off and land. You don't have to unlock the props or anything like that to have it do the auto takeoff. Now, you've got your headless mode right here. You got your trim buttons for your pitch and your roll in case you need to trim it at all. Which, you know, if it does drift on you at first, land it on that level surface and do that down to the left, which is your gyro calibration. Do that first, and if it continues to drift, then go ahead and adjust those trims until it doesn't. Because I had it down here when I'm filming this, and once I had it, you know, I didn't trim it at all. Once I did a gyro calibration on the floor, it was hovering in one spot while I was looking at the instruction manual, and I had my eyes off it for 20 seconds. It was like it had GPS hold, because there was no wind moving or nothing. It was really outstanding. I've never had a toy non-GPS drone or optical flow, you know, that could hold its own position. I've never had just a totally manual drone like that, just hold its position like that. And then you have some kind of little gimmick, unique little things here. This one right here, this button is a yaw spin. I've seen a few drones offer this. It's gonna, what the drone is gonna do, it's gonna spin on its yaw axis, and it spins really fast compared to if you were just holding the yaw in on the controller. It spins like a top. So keep that in mind. To cancel that, either press that button again or just give it a pitch roll input, and then that will cancel it. And then this one here, this does funnels. You know, it does funnels where it's going to do it's going to do circles, which I can't show you guys here very well within the field of view of my camera. So make sure that if you do this indoors, you have a bigger area, because when I tested it, of course, it banged into the walls. So keep that in mind. This is better for flying outdoors, doing those yaws, those funnels. But you know, if you're just doing funnels yourself, you know, you can just manually do those things if you're flying and, you know, giving your inputs. But if you don't know how to do funnels, you can just give it the that button here, which was this one right here, and it'll automatically do those for you. And then again, cancel by pressing the button again, or give it a pitch roll input on that. Flight time again on this was around 8 minutes, which is not bad for a little drone like this. Overall, pretty impressed, especially the fact that you get an extra battery with it. Now, really quickly, the app you're going to use is the Snaptain Air app, which I'll show you guys right here. Here's the Snaptain Air. It's going to come up, and of course, I'm not bound to the app or anything. We connect to your Wi-Fi first, then you're going to go into your, I think it's your function display, and then it'll of course pull up the feed, and you've got your photo, video, and it's all your typical app stuff, which I don't mess with these too much because I'm not flying with the phone. But you do need to use this and press your photo or your video, which would be your video for most of you guys, to record that video feed, because you're going to be recording basically same thing as a screen recorder, except for you won't have the icons. You'll be recording the Wi-Fi feed to your phone. So any drop frames that you're going to get because of, you know, just issues with Wi-Fi, or if you fly a little farther, the Wi-Fi starts to drop off, that's all going to be recorded, unfortunately, in your phone. So you're going to kind of be stuck with what you get. What you see is what you get with the Wi-Fi. All right, guys, that wraps up the table review portion of the new Snaptain A10 little Mavic Mini toy drone, is what I call it. So let's head on outside now for that flight review. So we'll be right back. All right, guys, so let's take the Snaptain A10, the little, what I like to call a Mavic Mini toy clone, out now for its test flight. Now, I didn't show you in the table review that this guy, you know, is foldable, of course, just like the Mavic Mini style that is cloning. So go ahead and just fold its arms out so you guys can see it's still really, really small. So we'll power it on here and then fly it around here in my backyard for the test flight. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the drone and set it down here on my grill. We got a lot of stuff here on the back patio that's gone. Let you guys know that I'm gonna be moving, so I'll be filming some different locations in between the moves and the temporary housing. So let's go ahead and turn on the controller and do up and down for the binding. And now the light flashes and goes solid. That means it's doing a gyro calibration. But if you want to do one again, it's down and to the left. Hoping this shows up okay in the head cam here. I never know this being the new Osmo Action. You know, I'm still getting kind of used to the field of view and how to adjust it on my head. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and put my phone into the mount here and turn my screen brightness all the way up, and then go ahead and connect to the Snaptain. So go into your Wi-Fi, and it's going to come up as the Snaptain A10H here. Go ahead and connect. It may give me a warning about no internet. We're connected, so let's go ahead and I'm going to put it into the phone clip holder here. I'm going to go to the Snaptain Air app, and then we'll go in here in the function display, and it should come up. That's where we can get some video, and there we go. That was nice and easy and very, very quick. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to record video, guys. I'm not going to mess about any screen recordings for this little toy. I'm not going to worry about photo quality. Photo's just going to be probably just a screenshot of the video anyway. So go ahead and start recording video, and there we go. And like I said, it's 720p and it's pretty decent quality. And go ahead and do an auto takeoff. Now it kind of did fly forward on me there. Like I mentioned in the table view, sometimes it tends to do that. Let's see, that could have just been a gust of wind. Yeah, that's not too bad. That is the lowest rate. Oh, it's gonna fly into the, oh, almost. I'm in the lowest rate. So I wanted to show you guys. Let me bring it forward here. I wanted to show you the yaw. Well, it's gonna be difficult. I'm gonna go up into the speed rates here. There's the middle rate. You see much sportier. Whoa, it clipped the house. I was trying to show you guys the rates there and got a little bit into the to the house. Let's see if I can find the drone. Here it is. Anytime you crash one of these, you got to make sure that you make sure the arms didn't get knocked out of whack. I'm going to go ahead and calibrate the gyro again here on top of my grill, since that was a pretty good crash. And what we'll do is go ahead and stop the video. I'm going to go ahead and start it up again. So I don't know if I'll even mess with including that first clip because I didn't get much flight in. Let's go ahead and do auto takeoff again. There we go. There's the middle rate and there's the highest rate. That time worked better. Lowest rate. Now, oh! It is small, so keep it in the, and there's middle rate, which is pretty good, and there's the highest rate. All right, there we go, guys. Highest rate is what I would fly outdoors. Middle rate if it's not too windy. A day like today, it's not really windy today, but and you see that's pretty darn stable when the wind lets up. There's still some breezes coming through, and there's not enough pitch in the lowest rate. So I know it probably looked like cruddy piloting on my end, but that was just simply I didn't have enough pitch to fight the wind. And trying to show you guys that yaw, it got blown into the house, house over there, and crashed it. But it's fine. There you can see. Let's lower it down. There's that green rear light. There's the blue on the side, and there's the, let's back it up, the front two white lights. Let's show you guys the 360 flip here. Does them real nice. To the left, to a forward, to a back. Yeah, it works. It's a great little flyer. Let's show you guys now here's the fastest yaw I can do manually and the highest rate. Let's do the auto yaw on the button here. See, look, really, I hit it again to cancel it. It's like a top. But both times it's actually stopped right whenever it's facing away from me. Because when you do a yaw spin like that, you have to regain your orientation really quick. And that's when you could, if you're really close to a wall or something, you may very likely crash into the wall before you regain your orientation. Now the FPV camera here will help some. Typical amount of lag on that, but not terrible. And the video quality is not bad for a toy. There's a little wobble, but I don't see like a bunch of jello. Let me go back. Let's show you guys now that like funnels that it does. Let's bring it a little closer. And here's the funnel. See, boy, that's a big. I'm gonna cancel that so we don't. Well, it's still going. I have to give it some stick input there. Cancel that. Didn't seem to cancel whenever I did the. Let it go. They're not very tight funnels. There we go. Whoa! And it's still okay. I'm gonna make sure we didn't knock the arms out of place because that would make it fly funny. So I mentioned in the table view that funneling wouldn't be good indoors, even outdoors. That's such a large funnel. It's almost like it's funneling in low rate or something. It's just, because look, if I do a funnel myself manually here, look, that's much better and tighter. So if you're gonna do the auto funnel, make sure you're out in an open area even more than this, because I'm on my back patio and look, you saw it fly twice and just about crashed it. The props scuffed against the siding. If you want to know how to do an, I've mentioned a table review, but if I'll show you, if you want to actually do a manual funnel, it's just like this, full pitch and full yaw, the way you want to do it. If you want to do it the other direction, give it full pitch, and when you yaw the other direction, and that does a funnel. You don't need to do the auto funneling. You have better control of this, and you're going to get much tighter funnels. The wider the funnels, the more likely you are to crash it. Let's do another flip. Yeah, this is an awesome little flyer. I really have zero complaints. The only thing I mentioned is sometimes the gyro or level calibration can get a little off, and it tends to want to fly forward. But I mean, that's not like a big deal. It's not like it's fixed. It's, you know, it's fixable, and it doesn't do it all the time. I would not calibrate that gyro when I get it anyway, unless you crash. There's really no reason to mess with it. I just do it because I'm testing the features to make sure everything works, and it actually notifies you with a flashing light that you're actually calibrating the gyro. You can, let's turn the lights off. Let's back it up here and see if we can see that. There's a little green light, and there it went off. Now it's back on. There's a blue light, on, off. I still got it off. Let's turn it towards me and turn it on. There we go. There they're on, off, on. Flight time I got indoors was around 8 minutes. I don't know if I'll get that much here outdoors because, you know, I'm not fighting wind indoors. Anytime you're fighting wind, that's going to require more power. And see, now we're getting the low voltage, and I'm at 5.5 minutes, and we flew for a little bit before that. So outdoors, you're probably in the, you know, 6 minutes range or so. I'm going to go ahead and stop recording the video so we don't lose that if it would power off. Anytime you're doing a Wi-Fi recording to your phone, you make sure you record that so it saves it to your phone. It does, the controller, as you can see here, or here, it does beep. I didn't mention it in the table review. So that lets you know it's low voltage, and you don't have to just rely on those blinking lights, because if it had not, if you have the LEDs turned off, then you're going to, you're not going to know it's at low voltage. All right, let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and land it. All right, guys. So we still have the low voltage, you know, beeping, but the drone is dead. So I mentioned 8 minutes, not 8 minutes outdoors and you're flying in the wind. Let's go ahead. That beeping is going to drive me crazy, guys. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this little flight review. This is a cool little Mavic Mavic Mini type clone. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Click that bell so you know when I do upload a video, and make sure you check the video description if you're interested in this. You can pick this up on Amazon Prime. And as always, guys, have a wonderful day.
The power of the dark